if you want to buy our product, you send it to your home, and then from there you can send it to your customer.
Yeah.
So that's what I thought.
Okay, so I just realized that my recording software hadn't started. So I'm gonna ask you that again. If you could just explain what's happening right now. So if you could say your name again real quick, and then what's happening with your Walmart orders.
Yeah, Tvan, and I just started eBay. The bulk listing. With your help. And now recently I got orders that's been canceled almost like immediately. So I repeated, ordering again, and finally I called Walmart and talked to someone, and they told me that that's because I'm a reseller. They are cracking down on resale and dropshippers. They don't allow that we are placing order for customer using their shipping.
Yeah, no, it makes sense because a lot of the things that I do take advantage of Walmart's size.
Yeah.
And like the thing though is what this kind of stuff I've heard about before, and like Walmart has always reserved the right to cancel orders, even if you look at their terms of use. That's true even if you're just a person ordering and you're not even a reseller. No matter who you are, if you use their services, they reserve the right to cancel them.
Oh, really?
Okay. Yeah. So that being said, with anytime you're doing anything with Walmart reps, it's really important to talk to multiple reps. Like I've done some videos where I've asked the same question to 15 different reps, and you get different answers. And like ultimately, even if this is a thing that's happening, right, where they're cracking down on drop shippers, the reality is that maybe a lot of their employees know about that, but not all of them. So you keep calling back, you keep contacting them until somebody does something, because you're going to notice that different reps say different things. So you have to really plan on contacting them multiple times, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that just makes. But here's the problem with me, though. I have listed 8,000 Walmart using Hydra, and then go through the trouble of removing them because some of those items are not good to post. But I figured that out as I watched the video, which is a bad thing, So I wish I watched the video, the whole entire thing, and then know what to list, because, for example, refurbished need to get rid of. We order refurbished, of course.
Yeah, they're often broken.
Yeah, size color and all that stuff, I had to filter all that out. But I didn't know that when I first started with your video. Yeah. Because you list everything,
Yeah.
So now, you know what I have to do at the end of the month? I have to literally probably going to do massive delete and start over. I have to, I feel like.
As long as you're able to do that, reiterating is really, really good. That's something I do on a regular basis, and because I believe that it's one thing to know something because you've been told it, but it's something completely different when you have physically experienced it, because it's just so much more real. You know what I mean?
You are absolutely right. Because I don't mind going through all this trouble because I really learn it, and that's how I can figure it out the next time I do things. And watching videos really help.
Yeah. It's interesting that this is kind of related to. So I'm going to this thing called Grind Camp. I'm going to go live in Nicaragua for a while, and I'm going to be working around some programmers there. And one of the things we've been talking about is figuring out how to make software for the bulk style. And so the main component. There's two main components. One is a scraper, which is pretty simple. That's like something where you can get a search result and it has 30,000 items in it. So you just put in the URL of that search result and you get that list straight away. Or without having to do it yourself, you get that list of items. So that's part one, where you have this part that generates the list, right? And then part two is a program that has a field you can enter tags in there that are associated with items you don't want. So Vero items, or like you said, like multiple colors, multiple sizes, refurbished items, all that kind of stuff. And so then software.
How about out of stock? I noticed sometimes I look at the page and I would get all the links from that page using that extension that you told us to do.
Yeah, link grabber, and some of them are out of stock.
But I can't. The out of stock words is on the page, but I can't somehow not filter them out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that in order for the
it's
part I'm talking about to get filtered, it has to be in the title.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
No, it's next to the listing. It say out of stock, but I can see that if I do a how you call it, HTML, I see the out of stock tag.
Yeah.
But can you somehow filter the out of stock tag before you even list things, right?
Yeah, that would be doable. That would be handled by the lister. Like in this case, Hydra lister would handle that.
Oh, I see. See, I don't. I have Hydra lister, but I haven't had the SKUgrid yet. I didn't deal with yet. I haven't have yet.
Oh, interesting.
So right now I'm listing 8,000.
Wait, you posted 8,000 items without SKUgrid?
Yes,
oh, that's ballsy.
I know, right? so what I have done so far is when they order an item is out of stock on Walmart, I will go to other websites, get something similar that's just exactly the same. So far, I'm really lucky about that.
Yeah. But yeah, there's a whole bunch of different ways.
If I don't find it, I go your method. I would delay it and then email them back and say, hey, please a return case and then do it that way, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, that's how now every time I get an out of stock, I realized that before I was waiting too long to communicate with the buyers, and that I get much better results if as soon as it's out of stock, I send them a message saying that there's a delay sourcing it, and at that point they can choose to either ask for their refund. And usually if they do ask for the refund right then, because all the communication happened quickly and they get their money back quickly, then they're okay with it. Like you can actually get positive feedbacks for quick cancellations, which is interesting. I didn't realize that was a thing before. Yeah.
So I don't have SKUgrid, so I might have to start doing to subscribe to SKUgrid.
Yeah, I would really encourage you not to bulk post without some kind of repricer. It's not so much to prevent out of stocks, it's to prevent like when items go out of, they're not on sale anymore and suddenly they're more expensive, because when that happens, usually the competition will reflect, and then once the competition's reflected and your listing's still old, it's more likely to sell at that point.
Okay.
So you really want to have some kind of protection against that.
Okay. So what I have to do is probably going to start subscribe to SKUgrid. But now what I have to do is, just like you told us, is to look at the number item on SKUgrid and the number item on eBay and trying to eliminate those and then, start from scratch, with SKUgrid, because I think there's a little discrepancy going on with my account because I don't have SKUgrid and I delete a lot of them on eBay. So I have to go back to video and try to figure that out that way, and keep it very
honestly,
balanced.
Importing stuff into SKUgrid is time consuming. Like if you are comfortable with reiterating your store, I would encourage you to do that, like learn as much as possible from the listings you have. But to do that, get rid of them and then incorporate SKUgrid, because at that point, it's not going to take any extra time for your new listings to be in SKUgrid as well. Whereas now you have to link everything up, and it's doable, but it's time consuming.
Yeah, so I think, like you suggest, at the end of the month, it's going to be renew another 10,000 listings.
Yeah.
So what I have to do, I'm probably going to delete everything and start over again.
Yeah.
And then subscribe to SKUgrid, right?
Yeah.
That'd be the best way to do it. And not have like crazy items listed from now on, like sizes and colors and refurbished.
Yeah.
And all this stuff that I did. Like you in the beginning.
I can share with you what because I just posted items about a week ago. So I'll share with you the items that I'm posting now. These are the items that I think sell best in the bulk format. Have you seen any of the videos about multi-quantity sales?
No, I have not. I'm still at the 146 video.
Okay. You might so you should check out, because the videos you're watching right now are part of the series I did. It's like a playlist I called Bulk Theory. I just started a new playlist, which is like eBay bulk style dropshipping or something like that. I'll send you a link to it. But I'm basically just reiterating the series, except this time knowing that bulk is profitable and having a sense of how to do it, whereas before it was all just getting experience and figuring it out.
Yes. Yes.
But you should check out those because there's only like 5 or 6 videos in it so far, and they're specific, and they talk about what I think is the most or the best item to focus on when you're bulk posting.
Okay,
so I'll tell you a bit about that now if you want. You don't.
Yeah, no problem. I have all the time for you, Jeff.
Okay, so I tried expensive items. Once my account got big, I ended up getting rid of all of my expensive items. So expensive is like anything that's more than like $100.
Okay, I've been eBay for like quite a long time back in college, just to buy stuff. So you know what they did to my account? They grandfathered me the account. You know what that means, right?
So you don't have limits?
I don't have a limit. And so as I watched the video, I was like, why does Jack need to get money to $1 million, $2 million? And they grandfathered me. I was like, oh my God, I don't have to go through the trouble like
That's
you
amazing.
do. So I apply, and because I was a member since 1990, you know?
Yeah, so you can post as many items as you want to.
Yeah. So I'm very happy about that, you know?
I wonder if you can, there's probably tons of like eBay accounts that nobody uses that were made in that time period.
Yeah.
Like those would be so valuable to people now. Like, holy crap.
Oh, yeah.
It took me 3 years to get my account to where it is now.
Look, I just started last year doing it. They grandfathered me already. I was like, I'm just started. And I keep looking at my hub. I see, how come I don't have a limit? So I call eBay and I say, why? How come I actually ask for a limit increase? They say, you don't need a limit increase. We grandfather you already. I was like, really?
Wow.
And I didn't understand why, you know?
That's really interesting.
But so I can do whatever I want to my eBay account.
So you just got to get yourself the experience to know what to post, and then you're set.
Yeah. So
wow.
You know that. So go ahead. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Go ahead.
No. You're fine. That was really interesting. So now what I'm focusing on is I'm only posting items that cost less than $35 on Walmart.com.
Only less than 30?
Yeah, less than 35. So anything that has shipping included in the price.
Yes.
And
I did that. That's what you did first.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing now is only those items. And the thing is I have the default quantity at 10 instead of 1.
Okay.
And so sometimes I use a $10 minimum markup, okay? Yeah. So that applies to a lot of these items because they're so cheap. If it's not at least a $10 increase, then it'll be whatever 1.4 is.
Okay. Jack, may I ask you a quick question? I was looking at all the items below 35, right? So with Hydra, and when I first started, it's so confusing when it comes to putting the margin and the eBay price and all that percentage.
Yeah, the token and everything.
Oh my God, I went through hell, and I post items. I was like, why is it so cheap, you know? Yeah. So I went through about 100 of those listings, try to correct all the price. I went nuts. I went nuts on that. So I keep playing. Eventually, I figured out how this whole thing works, you know? So I don't put anything but the margin. I don't even put the margin price. Is that what you do?
Yeah, I just do, because in my head, like, the less math it does, the better. And I use a set 1.4. I don't have any of the sales tax or any of the like eBay fee, PayPal fee, PayPal percentage. I don't have any of that filled out just because I know that those are part of it. You know, I just use a raw margin that's higher, and I know that it accounts for it.
But I also realize when you sell items below 35, let's say an item costs $2, it costs $6 for shipping. Yeah. And you do a margin on that, the price is too expensive, right? For one item. Then I thought maybe if I multiply by 2 and sell it as 2 quantity instead, and that way, you know, I make some money because I don't think I thought maybe because if it's a $1 item, $6 is shipping, and you do the margin. So let's say it becomes $12 for an item that's only $1, and maybe people don't want to buy something like that.
Yeah. So I don't. Okay, I always use a minimum for items that are that cheap. So that's the 2 things in my Hydra that I have set up is the 1.4 markup.
Okay.
and then
I see.
also a $10 minimum. So Hydra looks at the cost of shipping plus the cost of the item and adds them together, and then applies the 1.4. If that doesn't result in at least a $10 increase, then it's increased by $10.
Oh, I see.
And so that's why most of the items that I have that are cheap are actually like 2 or 3 times as expensive as the item actually is. So the margin's pretty high. And you're right that people a lot of the time are like, hey, this is like one golf ball. Why is it $23? That definitely does happen. But at the same time, there's a lot of items that people don't have a good sense of how much money they should cost, especially when they're being sold by a place like Walmart, which is so like, there are items that you can multiply the price that Walmart sells them for by like 3 or 4, and they still seem like, how is it that cheap? Like, it's weird.
Really? You know what? Yeah, you know what my problem is, Jack, is that I've been doing this manual listing for a year.
Yeah.
So when it's very hard for me to do a bulk listing and say, hey, that item is too expensive, because manual lister, they only want to say, I want to make $20.
Yeah.
Okay. So I mean, I'm still in that mode where I can be like you right now for some reason, list everything and not worry about how, if they think it's expensive or cheap,
Yeah.
It seems like I'm very concerned of every item. So when I use Hydra to post a price, and I'm like, wow, that's way too expensive. Let me somehow increase it to 2 quantity on my title listing, which is even more work for me,
Yeah, yeah.
When I do it,
Yeah, I can't. I literally, if I have to do something to an individual listing, I don't do it.
Okay, I need to get out of that mode for sure.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I think there's something to be said about combining bulk with optimization. Personally, I do this because I like it and it's fun. So I don't optimize because it's really hard to make fun.
Yeah, I know. That is true. So let me ask you again. So in your Hydra lister, you have the margin percentage as what?
1.4.
1.4%. 40%, right?
Yeah.
And then you have minimum margin as $10.
$10, yeah.
For items that you search on Walmart from $0 to $35.
Yeah.
So, and you will pull all the items.
Actually, I sell from $5 to $35. I don't sell anything cheaper than $5.
So maybe the problem I went from 0 to 35. Mm-hmm. So starting from 5 to 35 with that formula will give you a better price, right?
Yeah, and the thing here is, especially if you have a big enough account where you can change the default quantity of your listings. And you're in a unique situation because
I have a problem with that. Yeah, I was wondering why you do one. I was like, why is he doing one quantity for every listing when I first watched your video? And I couldn't figure out why the reason why you did that is because there's a limitation on that, right? For you.
Yeah. So you still it doesn't, when you change the quantity from 1 to 10, it still only uses 1 insertion fee. The thing is, it takes up 10 times the amount of quantity limit and dollar limit.
Yeah, which I don't have, right?
Yeah, exactly. So you're fine. So if you focus on those items that are cheaper than $35 with a $10 markup and the default quantity, you don't want it to be too high because, when you're ordering a bunch of cheaper items and you're ordering like 10, it doesn't really matter a whole lot from Walmart. But if you order 5 or 6 $100 items, they start to get iffy about that. But as long as you do that, you're going to get these multi-quantity sales to happen. And that's when you sell an item and somebody pays for 4 of them and $6 of shipping was priced into each quantity. So you profit an additional, $24 just because they bought them all at once. And that's separate from the existing profit.
Very, very, very good. I have a quick question for you also, is that when I list all these items, and so as I go through my listing, I see the picture is not set correctly. So as a manual lister, I literally go back to all the listing and try to set the main picture correctly because it looks very funny. Do you have that problem or just me?
So I don't interact with a listing. Once it's created, I don't interact with it until it creates some kind of attention. So if a buyer messages me about something wrong in a listing, I'll fix it. But I see. I won't go through my listings.
If they don't look at it, there's no need for them for me to change
exactly.
it, right?
If they communicate with me, then I'll work on the listing as it's kind of, there's a correlation to how much attention the listing's got and if it's worth my time.
I see. And then another problem with the Hydra listing is when they put inches, they put it back to feet.
Yeah.
Do you have a problem with buyers that say, hey, they look like feet. I'm supposed to get a feet of this long, and you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying. I've thought about that before. I don't think it ever actually caused that to happen though. Most of the time really? Now, my listings just get the inch mark removed. So instead of 20 inches, it'll just say 20.
Oh, how you do that?
It's just what Hydra does. I haven't changed anything.
Oh, really? Because every time I inches, it lists as a feet, like a one tick mark.
Instead of the 2 ticks, it's 1. That's really weird.
So what happened is because you know why? The tick is for like apostrophe.
Yeah.
Right. So the 2 ticks is for maybe the program doesn't recognize it as a
it has to take them out. It's weird that it's replacing it though. That's odd. It should be okay. So I wouldn't worry too much about it.
Oh, because that's what happened to me. So as a manual lister, I went through the whole listing and tried to change back into inches and inches. It drive me nuts. So I don't know. I mean, maybe it's just me, man.
Yeah.
So I guess I shouldn't do anything about that, right? But I
wouldn't worry about it. Like I said, if you're getting attention to a listing and somebody messages you about it, usually a message about a listing is a good indication that the listing itself is worth looking at or worth, tweaking.
What if someone placed an order on something that's in inches, but it says feet because there's only 1 tick? Should I message them, say, hey, you only get an inches,
it's always better to communicate about, like, the second you think something might be unclear, it's communication is what gets you good feedback, like quick communication. You just have to make sure, like, keep in mind there's almost never any reason to send a message that's more than 2 sentences. A lot of people waste a lot of time. They write out like a paragraph and they only need like 1 or 2 sentences. That's it. Yeah.
I learned that from your video. Not to. Sometimes I used to email back all these people, but now that I saw a video and say, you only watch. Read one of those messages. Yeah. Some of these messages I used to email now it's like, screw it. I'm going to skip that one. No, I don't like that one. No. So that's why I had to. Which is cool, man. Before that, I was worried. I was like, I always email them back. And now I have like your attitude now. It's like, no, next one. No, next one.
What do I need to? You kind of have to do that with bulk.
Yeah, I love it, man. So
I'm glad. I'm really glad that it's working out for you.
So that's one of the issues I have with that so far. And so back to Walmart, okay? I really don't want to create all this gift cards just to get out of my situation for some of the orders with Walmart. That's fine. If I create a new email account, it still doesn't help. Going the website incognito, clear your cookies, or maybe like Hotspot, whatever program that's out there, try to fool Walmart. They still figure it out, right? By looking at your billing address. Is that what you're doing?
Your billing address and your payment information. But wait, so why don't you want to use gift cards?
Creating multiple Gmail accounts, that's trouble, because I have to figure out where I am. So I have a spreadsheet that try to keep, see where my orders are.
Yeah.
And also with gift cards, that means I have to buy gift cards and then I have to keep track. I saw you the way you did the Excel spreadsheet. I was like, oh my God, 60,000 listings. How did you go through and figure out where everything is? Is that too much trouble for you?
Wait,
I don't have a lot of orders.
The gift cards or... I do all of my order stuff through Gmail, so I just search for it, and I use the messages that get auto-generated.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So that's how I like find orders and find notifications and all that.
Okay.
I only have spreadsheets for the gift cards because I have to have a database of all the gift cards I've ever bought. And that I actually was worried about that. I thought it would be very time consuming, but it's not at all. It's very quick.
Okay. So what I can do is now is I buy gift cards, but I have to create a new Gmail account, right?
Yeah,
so I can't use
it depends on.
I can't use the Gmail account.
Route. I would keep trying to get in touch with a rep who will help you.
Oh, really? You think that's gonna work?
Yeah, I really think so. Because, like I said, imagine that they're actually training reps to say that they don't like drop shippers and that they're cutting down on them. Even if that is true at the moment, there's some reps they haven't gotten to yet. There's some reps that miss that message, and if you keep going, you will get to one of them.
So what does it mean when I get to one of those reps? Are they going to clear my account? Is that what they're doing or what?
Something along that lines, yeah. Because like Walmart isn't outwardly against dropshippers, and I've heard some reps say that they're not cool with it before, but that's been something I've heard about for a long time.
Oh, I see.
And like I know people have gotten their Walmart accounts like taken down as well, so that does happen. You know, just make sure that you're not leaving it on what one or two people say.
Okay, I will try that, and I will email you back to see if that works or not. And I'll give you an update on that.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna call a couple reps and get a couple reps on the phone.
Have you seen any of Marc Augustin's videos on his channel, No Bullshit Dropshipping?
No, I'm just constantly on your channel, man. Okay. I don't watch anybody else but yours now.
You should. So if you look in the links to my videos, you'll see a link to his channel. The reason I'm telling you this is because you'll be able to find videos on what's called like stealth ordering. And so he has more experience dealing with like what to do when Walmart cancels your orders because he's already dealt with that, whereas I haven't.
Okay.
Like Walmart is still fulfilling my orders, so I haven't had to deal with it, you know? So I recommend you check out his channel. He's actually, I'm going to be living pretty much with him. He's not there all around, but I'll be in the same country he's in pretty soon. Yeah.
Why are you moving to Nicaragua? You know, is there civil war still going on down there?
In Nicaragua? I'm not sure, actually. And Nicaragua is one of the safer places there.
It's a dangerous place to live. You know, kidnapping. Did you hear all about that?
No, like that's something. When I have looked at like the different rates in different Latin American countries, and a lot of it's about your geographical location. And the area I'm at is like right on the Pacific coast. And it's like, you know, it is not as developed as a place like the States, but people believe it's like more dangerous than it actually is. And it's a really big opportunity for me because I get to go and help Marc host the Grind Camp event. So I'm going to be surrounded by other entrepreneurs and freelancers constantly.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Wow. Making YouTube content for a channel.
You know, I'm very surprised how you come about. You move so fast and you're so knowledgeable. I don't know if you're born smart or because I know you struggle, right? In school, did you struggle in school or anything, or did you do well in school?
I didn't. Yeah, I didn't do well in school. I got kicked out of high school and out of college.
How did you get all this knowledge, man? It's just amazing.
Yeah, my parents were very encouraging and very loving to me. And so I think that's the main distinction is that I recognize that it's not about being smarter. It's about trying over and over and over and over again. And if you stick with something, you get better at it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And so that's something that was ingrained in me very young. So.
Okay.
But at the same time, it's not like I have talents now, whereas like for the first like 20 years of my life, I was worse at everything that I did with everybody. I was always like the worst at it.
Wow. So you just woke up one day and suddenly things changed, huh?
No,
just like that.
I wouldn't say it was just one day. I just eventually realized that it's all about habit. It's all about doing something on a regular, frequent, recurring basis. And also about enjoying it. Because if you can enjoy something, that kind of guarantees that you're going to stick with it in the long run. So then you end up more talented.
Yeah, yeah. I see you grow, man, through the videos. And it's like you were sick and you didn't feel well, and you still continue and you make more video. And sometimes some video pops up and you are like in another place outside your room besides, all your videos inside your room.
Yeah.
And then suddenly the background of your video changes. I'm like, this guy is moving up so fast, That's like fantastic,
That's funny. Yeah. That's good. That's cool that you noticed that.
Yeah, I see you talking to other people, and I was like, wow, this guy is moving fast.
Yeah, it's helped. That's one of the reasons I do the YouTube stuff, is because making the videos, it makes me feel like alive. It's very happy being able to reach out to people, and like I'm starting to realize now that I have something to offer people and I can help people, and that is really great.
Yeah, I really appreciate it, man. It really lifts a big weight off my back, because of your video. Because before that, I'm still thinking, and I can't sleep at night, and I keep thinking about my eBay, how I'm gonna make money and this and that. And having someone like you, giving all this free advice and not even care, and worry about it.
I was so scared, but I appreciate it.
And I really appreciate. I see anybody being so caring like you. It's incredible. A lot of people hold in their secrets, but you tell me everybody everything. I was like, why do you do this, Jack? Sometimes I'm watching your videos. Please do not tell this. This is important information. Keep it to yourself.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah, because the reason I do that is because I believe that in order to keep improving, you have to always be able to stay ahead of everybody. And the only way that I know to stay ahead is to put myself in a situation where I can't keep doing the same thing because I'm giving away the information for free. So eventually other people will do it better than I do. So I have to keep learning because I don't have a choice because of the way that I do things,
Well, I really appreciate it. And I did watch Mr. Vu Udemy course.
Yeah.
And when I heard about that you might want to do a Udemy course, I was like, wow, you should do that, man.
Yeah. That's actually one of the reasons I'm going to Nicaragua, is to do a course with Marcus.
Oh man, I'm looking forward to see that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be the premise of it is that a lot of the courses out there right now are like, okay, this is what you do to set up this dropshipping business.
Exactly.
The course that we're making is going to just be like all about dropshipping, the different ways to dropship, the different styles, the different problems you can encounter, how to scale with software, how to scale with virtual assistants. Like, it's not telling you how to do everything, but it does have, it's like a path for you to find what you need to know.
Yeah, that's good because, I saw that the video, Mr. Vu's video, and it only teaches me one thing. And I was limited after I tried to do exactly what he did. Mm-hmm. But you are absolutely right. The way you do it, that's the way it's supposed to be done. Cover
it's important to see how other people do it, because there's not one way that'll work for anybody. But if you expose yourself to a whole lot of different methods, then you can figure out what works for you. Whereas if you're just seeing one way to do it and that way doesn't work, it's easy to think, well, this isn't for me.
Yeah, you're right. So I'm very happy for you, Jack.
Thank you.
So
is there anything else you want to? I gotta get going. But is there anything else you want to talk about?
I don't want to take your time, but I appreciate you calling me. So you have a great night. Okay. Thank you so much, Jack.
Let me know what happens with Walmart.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Bye bye.
All right. Bye.